Hello, you guys. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're the Conkus. We share bits and pieces of the joys of marriage and just how we're navigating through it together. So thank you for joining us, and we hope that you stick around. Now that our intro is done, I feel like today's video is one of those conversations that we've been meaning to have for a while, just because we get asked about it quite a bit in our personal life. But for those of you who are new here, Dell is my husband and the other half of the Conkus. Dell and I just moved into our new home, guys, and we just got a new car all within the same month. As you can clearly tell, God has been so good and so faithful to us this year, and we just feel like we are walking in a season where we're making a lot of bigger decisions, and maybe coming from the outside, it can look like we just agree on everything. I think we have just really learned how to remain aligned and how to stay on the same page before we even get to that decision point. So that is what this video will be about, how we navigate through making huge life decisions while also staying aligned with each other. I'm also starting to maybe figure out maybe a different setup for the videos. As you can tell, our setup is a little different. Behind me, there's, you see some plants, you see some drawings, there's something going on in the background. You'll see a couple clips of us in real time as we're car hunting, as we're house hunting, but just let me know if you guys like this new listenable vlog podcasty format, because I want to continue it moving forward, but let me know in the comments below. So let's go ahead and get started on today's video. So I used to think that alignment was you both sit down, you talk about it, and then you agree at the end. Obviously, you're aligned. But I realized that what alignment is that it actually really starts a lot earlier before you even think about making a decision together. It's all in the conversations leading up to it and how you process things, how you check in with each other while you're still figuring it out. That is what it truly means to be aligned with each other. I have been joking with Dell lately that I feel like he can read my mind. Like, I feel like he is my FBI agent in the least funny way. He can verbalize exactly what I'm thinking before I can even find a way to say it myself. And I was joking that he could read my mind, but after understanding alignment just a little bit more, I realized that we are both just really aligned and in tune with each other to be able to understand exactly what the other person is thinking, or around the gist of what they're processing in their mind, what they're feeling, what they like, what they don't like about the situation before we even vocalize it to each other. So this has been playing a huge role, especially when it came to us looking for our new house and car hunting, because it wasn't just about us picking which option looked better for us individually on paper. Sometimes we had to revisit the same conversations over and over again just to fully understand what are the priorities that we personally have and how we both really feel about the situation. Hi, how are you? I have a self-guided tour for 11:30.
What's your name?
Gracia. My husband just recently got a job nearby, so we're trying to find some spaces that we like.
That's a good reason.
One of the spaces that we wanted to see was unfortunately taken. So that's quite quick, because I was literally looking on the website yesterday, but maybe it's a matter of the website maybe hasn't been updated. So I am in the first space. I surprisingly really like it. I won't lie. I like it, but I think the one thing that is really not my favorite is just the cabinets used on the kitchen. That could be a little more upgraded in my opinion. I'm gonna send the videos to my husband right now so he can see it. But that was the one thing that really stood out about yesterday's space was that it had an in-unit garage. The garage was very spacious, so we could also use that as extra storage. And this one, you would have to pay for additional parking, and it's like park as you wish. So it looks like first come, first serve. So it also looks like that could be a potential issue. That was just one thing that was very convenient about yesterday's spot. Like, this space, it's very nice. It's very nice, but I just think it could use a little bit more refreshing with the appliances. Okay, so I've made it to building 2. Accidentally, to be quite honest. I feel so hectic. I don't know why I picked up a coffee from somebody, but I think the jitters are making it so much worse. But I've made it to the second apartment complex. This one, I truthfully didn't want to tour with the way that the leasing lady was explaining it to me. It just didn't fit the criteria for what we were looking for apartments. But I tried to tell her, I really did. I was like, I think I'm okay. And she said, okay, like, go see this one. And I was like, no, like, I'm okay not to tour, not to still see the spot. But she gave me the key, she gave me the stuff, she took my ID, and I was like, okay. But yeah, this one looks quite similar to where we currently live, and so it's too small. It's too small. It's too small, and I knew that before even coming up here, and I don't know why I decided to come up here anyways. I think she just convinced me, like, she talked well enough, and it convinced me that I should at least come see it. But it really is like a mimic of where we currently live. I'm not the biggest fan of the view. Not even a little bit, it's a bit smaller than what we're looking for personally. So just a lot of things I'm not quite fond of, but she convinced me. I felt like there was no way I could say no to her, but I also just felt like she wasn't quite understanding that I was trying to say I'm okay on the tour, and she took it as I'm okay to start the tour. So I'm about to order my final Uber to my last place, which I think is going to be the best because they have what we're looking for. They have the lots we're looking for. They have, I think, some townhomes as well that we're looking for. And they're a lot larger and they fit within our budget. So we're gonna go there and hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers, and it's closer to my husband's office. I don't know why I didn't start with this place to begin with, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna go there and I'll give you guys hopefully a tour. If not, then we probably liked it too much. Dell and I are very, very organized people. And so of course we had to go about this the most logistical way that we probably can. So we made a spreadsheet. If we didn't understand another person's perspective or what the other person liked or didn't like, we decided to put it all in a spreadsheet. I actually won't even take any credit for this. Dell made it. I won't even lie. God bless him. He made the spreadsheet, and it helped so much more, especially when we were touring for cars or touring for houses. We wanted to make sure that nothing got blurred in the process and nothing was removed or forgotten throughout the time that we were kind of ingesting a lot of information at the same time. We made sure to write it down so we weren't second guessing ourselves and weren't making the decision just based on how we felt in that exact moment. So in that spreadsheet, he included a couple conversational topics that we could consider while thinking about the two decisions that we're looking to make. It's time to get ourselves a Tesla. We're so excited. We are about to go buy a car. We're excited. I feel like we've come so far from where we were a few years ago in life. And now here we are. Let's go buy our first car together. It's a brand new car. I know people are very against new cars, but I feel like we deserve it.
Yeah, I was just waiting for my cue to talk.
Oh, you want your cue? Here you go. Here's your mic, babe. Do you say what you need to say?
No, I'm just grateful. Like,
Don't do this one.
dang. All right, I'm just grateful because it took a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, definitely delayed gratification.
For sure.
You know, we set our goal. You know, we've been taking the train. You know, but we live in Boston. We live downtown, so we can't really have a car.
Yeah.
But now, you know, we want to bigger and better. So, why not get a Tessie?
Guys, we got it. Everything is set.
But look at us walking.
Look at us walking with our new car.
Now they think we're lying
Now
because
they
they're not seeing videos.
No, guys. They said they're like getting it all set up and stuff. They're getting the plates and stuff from the insurance company. Then they're going to give us a call. We call the insurance, make sure it's approved, all that good stuff. So in about an hour, we're going to get our bad boy. Oh my God.
Brand new 2026
Brand
Tesla.
new 2026. And it was at a much better price. So we're going to go grab some lunch, early dinner at this place called Tony's. He recommended.
Everything we've been praying about forgot to.
Wow, today's a perfect
this,
it ended up being like the last day of the quarter, so they have to like, I don't know, sell cars or something by today. So we got a pretty sweet deal on it. We're car owners. We're car owners. No more train. No more train. No more train.
I am saying. Wow. After a month of taking it.
After a month, he was on the commuter rail for like 3 hours to go to work, 3 hours to come back.
2 hours.
2 still. 4 hours total of your day on that is brutal.
I made
3
that
times
into
a
my
week.
focus zone.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Like
That's like living in DC and working in Philly.
That's not.
I'll get to drive myself to work.
I will say alignment is a little bit easier when the person is near you, but we weren't always together for everything either. Y'all, our schedules are insanely busy. We do not have time to do everything together. So there were some times that we had to see some spaces separately just so we could cover more ground and then come back and have those conversations. And those conversations were probably the most important part of this process because they were conversations that really allowed us to understand what the other person prioritized. If he came back and he gave me some insight on the house's outer appearance, whereas I'm more focused on if it has a deck or how many rooms it has, it allowed me to see, okay, he visually wants to be able to walk into a home that he loves to look at. I want to walk into a home that I can soak in some sun. So it allowed me to be considerate of what he liked and what I liked. So when we were moving forward, we were really aligned. And I think the part people really don't talk about is that decisions can be very logistical, but they can also be very, very emotional at times. And if one person feels off about something, even if everything looks perfect from the outside, that feeling of it being off will continue to linger on. And when it comes to things that are so important, such as making a house purchase or buying a car, you want to make sure that you like the decision that you make. I won't lie, I really, really, really love this space. I feel like it's quite a bit of space, like it's so much room. And I'm trying to think if that would even be important, not important, but if that would even be necessary just for us two. We are literally in a 1-bedroom apartment and we can see all of our stuff, but it's starting to feel like we're crowding on top of each other, like I've mentioned. With this, it's so much space. There's the den downstairs, there's also a garage, and there's 2 bedrooms. So it's almost like 3 bedrooms at this point. I feel like it's so much space, especially just for us two. This one is super great. It's super lovely. It's super spacious, but it just might be too spacious. I think we both really like it. It's still very spacious, but one thing my husband said was that like the one thing about space is it gives you an opportunity to fill it. Like, yes, we need at least a 2-bedroom, but a 3-bedroom wouldn't be awful. Just because you have too much space doesn't mean you won't be able to fill the space with new things. So I'm about to Uber to my husband. He's touring the last spot. Maybe I'll be able to catch the very end of that tour if my Uber gets here quick enough. But I feel like I genuinely really like this spot, and it's very convenient in terms of the neighborhood amenities. Like, I can see stores as I'm just standing outside, and it looks like its own community, which I think is very sweet, because then it's like we have our own little neighbors, we have our own little, people next to us. So I think that's gonna be very fun. Y'all, I feel like keeping up with the Joneses will get you caught up in some situations that you just don't want to be. I won't get into a huge spiel about this because I could go on this tangent for forever, but us also being African immigrants and being the first in our families to get married, that trajectory and that mindset could definitely force you to make decisions that are even out of your reach just for the sake of others, just for the sake of pleasing others. And you start to feel rushed, you start to feel pressured, and that pressure will slowly ease into your life and ease into your marriage, all off of decisions that were never, ever meant for you. Then on top of that, of course, I probably should have highlighted this first, but we pray for alignment very, very consistently. And not just asking God for alignment, but also asking Him to align us with His will that He has for our lives. If it's meant for us, God, help us feel at peace with it. Don't just allow us to pick the decision just because it looks good on the outside or because we're trying to keep up with those Joneses. We want to make sure that it is aligned with what He sees for us. And truth be told, from the first apartment that we had, we definitely learned that something can look perfect on the outside, but not necessarily be good for you and your couple where you are or where you're growing to be. So on the outside, like I said, everything can look good, but there were a few maintenance things, a couple mail things, a couple package things that to another person could be a huge deal breaker. So we wanted to take a lot of time in prayer and really let God do that guiding for us, because we were really focused on not trying to make a decision that was rushed. Our lease was ending, so we had to at least decide if we wanted to stay in that place or move out. But we knew that we couldn't make that decision of we have to get a house, we have to do this, because because it's the next stage of our life if it wasn't suitable for us. So sitting in that room of prayer, sitting in those fasts, and really taking our time to think, to talk, to reflect, to hear God, to hear each other. And once we were aligned and found that alignment with ourselves and with God, the decision honestly kind of made itself. Hi.
Hi. We wanted to rent a moving truck.
Perfect. And then there he is in the truck. I really need to consider getting something to mount this up so that I don't have to hold it while I'm in the car. But in the meantime, we are about to head back home. We just picked up the U-Haul truck so that we can fit all of our stuff inside comfortably, because there's just clearly, this is a 4-seater, or 5-seater. There's no way we can fit all of our things, especially when it comes to like our couches, our bed, our sofas, our chairs, all of that stuff would not be able to fit. So we had to go rent a U-Haul truck. I did not know that they would be as expensively inexpensive as they are. I hope that really makes sense. But it's $29 an hour, which when you think about it, if you're using it for 3-4 hours, it makes sense. But when you're using it for likely a day, 24 hours, like any typical person would do, then you have to pay almost like a lump sum of like $300. The shift between the two is insane. But I'm just heading back home. And yeah, this self-driving feature on Tesla is one of my favorite things about this car. The self-driving feature and the summon feature that I just tried to highlight. I think I might become like a sales advocate for this car, genuinely. And all I have to do is just kind of pay attention to the road as it's driving. Obviously, that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm laughing now, but it's not going to be funny when we get to the new space. I think I threw away the little thing that goes underneath the TV so that you can like post it up on a bench or something so that you can watch it without it having to be mounted, because we don't have the correct tools apparently. I didn't know that, to mount a TV. I would mount it with anything, but granted, I don't know how to mount a TV and I've never mounted a TV by myself, so I would probably mess it up. But now we don't have anything to like almost poster the TV up so that it doesn't fall, and that's gonna be a trip in itself. So yeah, I don't think we had a perfect system or anything like that, but this is just what has been working for us when making big decisions. Alignment, prayer, and sometimes just a little bit of divide and conquer will take you a long way. And I feel like that's been helping us not just make our decisions, but also just making sure that we're staying close to each other in the process as well. So that is pretty much how we've been navigating this season of blessings. We really hope you enjoy this video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye!